A hard-fought effort tonight against the defending champs at the United Center, but the Bulls have now officially been eliminated from advancing in the NBA Cup. Had they won this game, they would have actually finished first in their group stage and would have gone on to the knockout round in Las Vegas, which I really selfishly wanted so I could see them play in the NBA Cup tournament in Vegas, which is a quick flight for me, but also just would have been hilarious that of all teams, the Bulls would win their group stage and knock out the Boston Celtics from advancing, but it wasn't meant to be. The Celtics are just such a good team with so many threats and weapons really on both ends of the floor. But give the Bulls a ton of credit though, they really held their own in this game. They kept up with the Celtics' high-octane offense and they battled through their top-rated defense, which is no easy task. To be honest, this was kind of an ideal loss if you're the Chicago Bulls, especially for those who are in the tanking camp or want to protect that pick at all costs. This was a fun, action-packed, back and forth game. You had yet again great games from Nikola Vucevic and Zach Lavine to showcase their trade value. You went toe-to-toe with the champs, but of course you got the L, which helps in keeping that pick in the long run for the season. I'll be honest, I was shocked to see the Bulls put up 129 points on the Celtics and keep this game close throughout. I'm shocked they only had 8 turnovers in this game, one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they only had 8 turnovers, and I'm shocked they put up 51 threes against this team and still shoot it at near 40% from deep. 105 threes were taken in this game between both teams. Just an insane era of basketball that we're living in right now. I'm not a big fan of it, as I've talked about before, if you follow my other channel, M1 Hoops, but that's because I'm a bit old school, becoming an old head now. I know, yes, I'm still in my 30s, but I am starting to become an old head in the way that I personally view the game. But 105 threes is insane. The biggest things that killed the Bulls tonight and preventing them from winning this game, though, was letting Peyton Pritchard go off like he was Steph Curry out there and not making the proper adjustments on the Celtics, continuing to switch to force mismatches down low. How many times did we see a switch on a pick where Porzingis would get it down low against someone like Zach Lavine or Coby or Io? The Bulls actually played well on defense in this game in terms of their overall effort, but the lack of adjustments on the Celtics continuing to exploit mismatches inside was what did them in and allowing so many easy baskets for the C's. And then, of course, like I mentioned, in the fourth quarter, Peyton Pritchard just taking over. There should be no scenario where you allow Pritchard to put up 5 threes on you in the fourth quarter. Unacceptable to let Pritchard put up 29 points off the bench in this game. There was also just some poor execution in the final minutes. There was a period where the Celtics went up by 10, I believe it was, with about 4 minutes left to go. The Bulls were able to go on a 7-0 run to cut it to one possession. They get a steal off a hustle play from Lonzo Ball. It's a 2-on-1 break where Io was bringing the ball down and he flounders a bit and just dishes it back out to Coby for a 3. Coby would miss that 3, the Celtics come back down to the other end and score. We've seen this so many times where the Bulls have a chance to just get a fast break layup where they're 2-on-1 or sometimes 3-on-1 on a fast break, and they kick it outside to a trailing man for a 3. If they get an easy 2 there, you cut the game to 1 point. Crowd is going crazy, momentum is on your side, but that botched possession really took the energy out of the crowd after going on that 7-0 run, and the Celtics never looked back after that. Now, I talked about, this being yet another great game for Nikola Vucevic and Lavine's trade value. Vooch put up a season-high 32 points. I believe they said he tied his career high with 6 threes made in this game, was 11 for 16 overall from the field, 6 for 9 from 3, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. I'm telling you, man, I keep saying it's very unlikely Vooch is going to get a first-round pick in a trade for the Bulls, but with the way he's been playing, and he just keeps building on his efficiency, sure, there is a world where a team desperate enough, like the Lakers, could throw a protected first-round pick to the Bulls to land Vucevic. And then Zach Lavine, first of all, shout out to him for passing Kirk Heinrich as the Bulls' all-time leader in three-pointers made, a record we knew eventually would be broken with the era of three-point basketball that we're in right now, but a great feat nonetheless for Zach Lavine. Zach finished this game with 29 points on 50% shooting, going 11 for 22, 4 for 11 from 3, and 0 turnovers. This was actually also a solid game for Josh Giddey. I know he didn't score much, just 4 points, and he was quiet on that front, but this was some of his best defensive effort I've seen from him this season. Still some bad defensive lapses at times, but he was much better in staying with his man. Seemed to have more of a presence of mind in coming over with the help defense. He did also have 8 rebounds and 9 assists in his 24 minutes of play to go along with 3 steals. And we always talk about his plus-minus, box plus-minus, how the Bulls are worse with him on the court. Well, he was a team high, plus 14 in this game. You compare that to Zach and Vooch, and they're minus 19. I did also like seeing Lonzo Ball close out this game as well. This was the first time we had seen him finish off a game with the closing lineup so far this season. I know his stat line wasn't that great, but for me, it's more just the defensive tenacity and effort that he exerts when he's out there. Like, he was doing a really good job on defending Tatum and Brown, being right up in their grill in isolation without committing a foul. And also, when Lonzo was in the game, same with Torrey Craig, they were the only guys out there that knew how to read and navigate the Celtics switches on offense to avoid those mismatches that we saw so many times throughout the game. Really solid minutes for Torrey Craig, by the way. Like, I still obviously would like to see Modest Buzelis play instead of him, but still baffling to me that Modest gets 5 minutes when Patrick Williams is out. But Craig was playing very well on both ends, and hell, maybe that's also another good showcase and trade value where you could potentially wind up getting a second-round pick. And man, Talen Horton-Tucker, it's honestly just funny at this point when I watch this guy play. And I mean that in a good way. Like, half the time when I'm watching him, I'm just laughing in disbelief and in excitement. Like, how is he even able to score so quickly in a hurry? Last game, he put up 20 points in, 16 minutes. Tonight, 16 points in 14 minutes. And honestly, THT helped push the Bulls take that lead and give them some cushion towards the end of that second quarter. Didn't even miss a shot until towards the end of the game. Was 6 for 7 overall, 4 for 4 from 3. Zeros when it came to the rest of his stat line. That's just what he does. He gets buckets. And then finally, Coby White, I won't lie, I'm getting a little worried about Coby because sometimes I feel like he is going back to being the old Coby before last season. Not the best decision making, inconsistent play from game to game. Lately, his shot hasn't been falling. Tonight, he was 1 for 7 from 3, 3 for 11 overall. Ironically, he was a +7 on the court, which was better than most of the starters. But yeah, if the Bulls are considering Coby to be part or be that foundational piece in this Bulls future as a new chapter in the youth movement, we need to start seeing him really continue on with his breakout season from last year and showing up more as a leader of this team. I still love Coby because he does bring a lot of energy and he's very vocal on the court, but I do worry a bit seeing him in this current slump and where that's going to go continuing out the rest of the season. I hope that he's able to make some quick adjustments and get back to the Coby White that we've been used to seeing the last, season or so, but still a little concerning nonetheless. Anyway, this aside though, was actually still a very fun game to watch for the Bulls despite the loss. Bulls are off through the weekend before they take on the Nets at home on Monday. So hope you guys have a great rest of the holiday weekend. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys in the next one.